Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mental Rampage. It's been a while. I'm going to be starting a new series, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is honestly, if not my favorite game, certainly in my top 3 favorite games that I've ever played. What should we call this dude? Beefus. Maximo. Beefus Maximo. That sounds good. Dude, oh no, don't use the mouse. Do not use the mouse. If you have the PC version of this, do not use the mouse and keyboard. It is god-awful. I think there's a mod that you can download that makes it better, but I'm tempted to go with Deprived. But I think I'll go with Pyromancer. I really like having the utility that gives. Master Key for sure. So, this series is going to be in part playthrough, part tutorial. For anyone who hasn't played Dark Souls, I really want to encourage people to play it because it's an incredible game. Yes, it is difficult, but it's not as difficult as people say it is. So I'm going to be kind of running through a lot of stuff that I know about the game to hopefully make it easier for those of you that would like to try it, or who have tried it and found it too difficult because of a lack of knowledge. Dark Souls is notorious for not giving you enough information. So, Goddess Blessing is useless. Black Firebomb can be useful, but it's only 5 items that you'll use the one time and that's it. Twin Humanities is basically useless. Binoculars is useless. The Pendant is actually useless. It says trinket, no effect. They mean that. It literally does nothing. People have been trying since the beginning of this game to find out what the pendant does. So far, there still has been nothing discovered. It does nothing. Master Key, in my opinion, is the best item. It gets you through a bunch of doors that you need keys for later on. You can get through them whenever you want. And for some of the stuff I'll be showing you, the Master Key is very useful. I should keep track of how much time I'm going. Okay. Tiny Being's Ring is a little bit helpful. See, it says HP recovers. That's a lie. It actually just gives you a slight health boost. So it's somewhat useful, but again, not as useful as the Master Key. And Old Witch's Ring is mostly an item that's going to give you benefits narrative-wise. There are some people that you can talk to if you have that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. But I'm not going to worry about that here. Now, we're going Beefus, so big guy. Face. Let's go with this one. Hair. Let's go curlies. And so that looks like blonde to me. Why do you say light brown? That's clearly blonde. I guess gold is also blonde. We'll go with golden hair. Even though his eyebrows stay red. That's funny. Alright, this looks acceptable. I'm just gonna be quiet for this.
Ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. Witch of Izalith, and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Alright, so bit of narrative for you to jump in there into the game. Very kind of epic, old school.
Yes, indeed. The dark
gods
sign
and
brands
mortals.
the undead.
Greek mythology, Norse mythology kind of stuff. Very good.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Ugh. Usually they're a lot bigger. Oh, a cellmate. Hey, Rumi. Thank you, guard, knight, dude, whoever you are. Hey, Rumi. What's that white stuff you got coming out of your butt? Oh, it's not coming out of your butt. Now it's coming out of your back. Either way, I will take that. So yeah, Dark Souls is notorious for giving you very little context. It does kind of give you the controls here as you go along. But, long story short, to fill in the stuff that they don't make apparent in that, essentially fire gives life and gives humanity. And where the fire is dwindling, people are now becoming undead. Life is more difficult to sustain. I don't know exactly how it works. I used to know more. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls, so I used to know a lot more about the lore prior, because I was more into it, but I'll try and pick up the pieces as I go along. See this stompy boy over here. We get to fight him later. What's the... Okay, beast sprint. I've been playing a bit more Nintendo lately, so I'm backwards on my buttons. Nintendo's greatest sin, in my opinion. Switching A and B. Yeah, they give you nothing to start with but a broken short sword. But that's enough to deal with the stuff that they give you. Checkpoint system in this is to use bonfires. I mean, I feel like everyone who knows about Dark Souls has a general understanding of how Dark Souls works. So, I don't want to go too in-depth into things that aren't going to be important or that people already know. You look up there, you can see that asshole. Hey man, what's up? I see you. Your surprise is ruined. Yeah, just don't even bother with him. Just go right over in this door. You can actually defeat him with this short straight sword, but it takes a really long time and it takes a lot of skill. And you do get a really good item out of it. I think you get his hammer, which is a really powerful strength weapon, but not really worth it in my opinion. There's other stuff that you can... There's other weapons that you can get that are better. It's more for clout than anything to do that. Dodge. The arrows do home a little bit in this. You'll see if I move over here early. It starts turning under my direction. But you can pretty easily dodge them because they move pretty slow. Grab this. There we go, some proper weapons. There is no pausing in Dark Souls, so bear that in mind. I don't even know why I equipped the shield. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to be going with a strength build in this. Which means I'm just gonna rush the claymore and pump that in my strength up a lot so that I get some really high damage. I do use shields somewhat, and shields are effective. That's an item we're coming back for quite a bit later. It's really frustrating because you can see this item and you think like, oh, maybe I can get to it, you know, maybe if I run, maybe if I kind of, you know, jump in the right spot. But nope, you can't get up there. It's the worst. And then you think, oh, okay, well, you know, I'll probably get back up there and get the round at some point. You don't. At least not yet. You leave this place before that happens. So.
Oh, you. You're no hollow.
Nope.
I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. You and I are both undead. Ringeth the bell of awakening.
What? What? Yes.
I have failed in my mission.
That's unfortunate.
But perhaps you can keep the torch lit.
Perhaps.
There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, an Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Thank you. I love how this guy's basically just like, here's this old saying of my family. Alright, well now that you know that, I can die in peace because you're definitely going to do this. It's sad because you walk away and collect the souls down there on the bottom right. I think I do. Yeah, there we go. He died. Just straight up disappears. Now I can go down here and open up this. So I have access to that bonfire. And I could go back in the door to fight that guy. Actually, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I've tried that. Is it locked? Ah, nah. I guess I've never tried to open that back up. I mean, it kind of naturally leads you around in a different direction, so I guess I just haven't tried doing that, but hey there. Starting to get some proper enemies now that they've given us a good weapon. And if you're a mage or a pyromancer, right up here is where you get your catalyst. Or a cleric, actually. Pyromancy flame. Yeah, there we go. There isn't that much difference between a pyromancer and, like, if you just wanted to do a strength build, you can do that. I just like picking the pyromancer because even though it kind of takes a bit of my points to put into attunement, there isn't actually... There's no intelligence qualifier for using... There's no intelligence qualifier for using pyromancy. This is the door to that item, by the way. You can't get there. There's nothing you need to be able to use pyromancy apart from the flame. You just get some fireballs early. And, also, interesting notes. That key that he gave me. How do I move over? There we go. It's called Undead Asylum F2 East Key. You would assume this would be the West Key. That's somewhat important later on, I guess. Boss Fog. Hello. I can't tell you how many times I failed that my first time playing through this. Ah! My iframes. They didn't work. Excuse me, dude. I just gotta drink an S-Deuce. There we go. Take that right in your gullet. There we go. Properly dodged. Most of the bosses in this game, what you want to do is just stay right up in their butt. Just get right up in their butt. I know it's not a pretty sight here, but let's say it beat them. Pretty easy. Don't get me wrong. Dark Souls is a difficult game, but I've always found you need to learn the enemy's attacks and kind of where you need to be. It's a trial and error game, really. It's a game about patience. This is the whole reason there's a sword and shield. It's the kind of Zelda style where you let them attack, you wait for your opening, and then you attack. That's very different to the typical games of today where you just kind of run at something. And a lot of skill is more in... I don't know. I guess dodging around and things like that. This is a slow game. It's not a fast-paced game. That's why this is so different from Bloodborne, despite the fact that they're both Souls-likes, and they look very similar. They're made by the same company. Bloodborne's all about speed, running up, and just going at your opponent, dodging around their attacks and everything. Dark Souls is about taking your time. Type boys take their time.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
It's a beautiful game,
to
too.
leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
Don't get me wrong, its graphics are obviously old for this time. But I feel like the kind of dark and gritty and gothic style of it holds up to the fact that its graphics aren't the best. It almost disguises that a bit. But maybe that's just me. Firelink Shrine. I suppose this is the first time I've installed Dark Souls on this computer since I rebooted it, so it thinks that I haven't played it before. Okay. I forget what I need dexterity at. I think 14. Let's just even those out for now. Pretty sure to use the claymore, I need at least 14. Certainly for the bow, and I find the bow is useful. It's not necessary, but it's handy in some situations, especially if you want to cheese things. And speaking of cheesing, this is where we're going to start cheesing things. I'm going to show you some techniques, I guess not techniques, things that you can do early on that will get you some stuff that will give you an early boost to this game, especially if you find it difficult. Guess we'll talk to this guy first, though.
Well,
hello.
what do we have here? You must be a new arrival.
A crow
Let me
literally
guess.
dropped me off in front of you.
The undead, right?
Yep.
Well, you're not the first.
And I won't
But
be the
there's
last.
no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out.
Oh, thanks.
One's up above in the
Oops.
undead church.
There's two
The
bells.
other is far,
That's what he said.
far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town.
Worst.
Bring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
What a cheerful fellow.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restore? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses.
Which I have some now.
Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
Yeah, I'm not about the PvP aspect of Dark Souls. Which, you know, you can say what you will, but I find the base game is difficult enough. I'm not interested in playing against other people. But you heard one of the things he said, that the two bells, there's one that's up in the Undead Burg, and one that's down in Blighttown. So, I don't know about anyone else, but the first thing I think of is, okay, one of the bells, he says, is below in Blighttown. There's literally a staircase right next to him. So, my first time playing this game, my first thought was, okay, well, alright, let's go to Blighttown and check that out, I guess. Hello there, she can't talk. She's the one that boosts your Estus flasks. Very helpful. So you go down here. But yeah, this leads down to New Lundo Ruins, which is an area that you're not supposed to go to until at least 1/3 through the game. Normally. And that's evident by the fact that all of the enemies in this area are ghosts that you can only hit if you have... I'm pretty sure it's only if you apply the transient curse item. Ooh. Ah, what the heck? Just because I attacked you while you were facing away from me. Yeah, this place is creepy. It's got quite a bit of history behind it. There's a lot of lore in this game that isn't apparent. I'd encourage you to watch VaatiVidya, I believe, or Terra Mantis. They both do some lore videos on Dark Souls. It's actually quite interesting.
And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickett Vinine.
Hi,
I
Rickert.
was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Look at me now, Dad. Keep talking.
Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape.
I don't even know if you have a door in
It's
there.
safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools.
Do you have dual sight?
I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
What are you holding? Is that a cloth? Or a fish? Yeah, this is your first little shop here. You can purchase some extra spells if you're playing a sorcerer. And you can upgrade your armor.
Smithing, don't.
One thing that's important in Dark Souls games, not as much in the first game, but certainly important in the second and third, is to exhaust NPCs' dialogue. Just talk to them until they have nothing else to say. Oftentimes, you can get an item out of it, or a piece of information that's important. Excuse me, I like this. Thank you. Oh. Wasn't intended. Yeah, transient curses. Temporary curse allows engagement with ghosts. So this entire area from this point forward, all the enemies that you're going to be facing, I think there are a couple exceptions, but the majority of the enemies you'll be facing are ghosts, and you can't hit them. And I, because typical gamer as I was when I started this, just kind of sped through that, didn't really read what the item did, and I kept trying to run through this. You can get pretty deep into here if you just keep running, but yeah, it's not great. But we're going to be going for that item right there. So you're going to die, so make sure you don't have a lot of souls on you, but it's pretty easy to get there. Oh, well, I say that. Just run over here. There's a thin bridge, so make sure you're running straight, because if you don't, you'll fall into the water. Grab the item, and you can kill yourself or let them kill you. Either or, but we got the Firekeeper soul. So, you can see at the bottom my Estus flasks. I'm gonna unequip these things. Because I don't need those or that. So your Estus flasks are your healing items. The number that it says is how many basically drinks from that flask you have, and it recharges every time you go to a fire. So it's not a finite resource. You can use it as many times as you have available, and then when you go to a fire, you get them all back. But one thing that you can do is if you come talk to this lady, or more talk at her because she doesn't talk back, unless you have the ring. That's one of the instances where it expands your options there. But you can reinforce Estus Flask if you have Firekeeper souls. So now you can see it says Estus Flask +1. So it heals more per swig than it did before. And the Firekeeper soul is actually, she is a Firekeeper. One of the things that... one of the things about these fires is most of them require, narrative-wise, they require a Firekeeper, someone that's by them to, I guess, just keep them alive. Any of the ones that give you +10 for sure, initially. Normally a bonfire only gives you +5, or 5 Estus swigs, but this one gives you 10 because there's a Firekeeper here. Later on, someone tries to kill her, and if they succeed, then you lose Firelink Shrine's bonfire, and that is very bad. You do not want that to happen. But I'll point that out when we get there. Alright, so we got the first item. That's a nice little early boost, and that one you don't even need any items for. The Master Key gives you access to some items that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get, but that one you don't need a key or anything. All you have to do is just... all you have to do is just know where it is and run to it. And be willing to sacrifice your souls, because there's no way that you can get back on that bridge and get those souls and get out of there. I mean, you could use Transient Curse and fight off the ghosts if you want, but this early on, that'd be very difficult to do, and a lot of them are summoned up. I think three or four come up on the bridge as you're trying to run by it. So it'd be best to try to kill them before going and getting the item, actually. Okay, well, so now we run. So this is another area where we're going to be doing a lot of running. There's some items that you can get down here. These guys are pretty strong, and considerably stronger than you are at the start of the game, and they will easily kill you. This is another area, because how I said before, you know, my first assumption was to go down those stairs, because that's down, and he said to go down, so that's where I was going. This is the second direction I took, because my thought process was, Dark Souls is a notoriously difficult game. I'm going to try to take the more difficult. Cannot believe I make... Oh, okay, I got stuck. There we go. I was just going to say, I cannot believe I'm making it all the way through here. But I was thinking, Dark Souls is a notoriously difficult game. The Blighttown sounds harder and more difficult, so I'm just going to go there first and get it out of the way. So I was determined to go there first, so I went down those stairs, tried that for a considerable amount of time, and then realized, you know what, maybe that's not where Blighttown is. Maybe that's not where I'm supposed to go. Oh wait, did I miss an item up here? So it's just going around picking up all the items around here. Just give you some extra stuff in case you need any of them. Those souls are compacted souls. So you get souls in the bottom right there that tally up every time you kill something. Or even if it just kills itself, sometimes they can fall off cliffs and you still get souls. That item that I picked up is a compacted soul, essentially, that you can use to get souls. So it's kind of banked stuff. Banked souls that can be useful later on if you need souls quickly for something. But I'm not done running down here yet. So I tried to fight those skeletons for a while. Realized that they were incredibly difficult. A lot more difficult than I'm capable of. But I found the staircase and thought, okay, I found the entrance to Blighttown. Finally, let's go. Let's do this. The catacombs. That's not Blighttown. Oh, ow, that hurt. I can't remember what item it is I want down here. Run over here. More skeletons. The worst part about the skeletons is that, grab the thing. There's a gate over there that I need to open. Can I not activate this? Oh, wait. Did the skeletons not follow me for some reason? They didn't. Alright. We're golden then. So I don't know why the skeletons didn't follow me, but you can't actually kill them permanently unless you kill these guys. They're like some kind of a necromancer or whatever. And they'll keep them alive, so as long as this guy's alive, the skeletons will go down for a little bit, but they'll just get right back up. And it's really annoying. So, when you're actually doing this area later on in the game, you have to come here, or you have to find these guys on the map and kill them. Or else the skeletons are just going to keep getting up and chasing you forever, which is the worst. Fortunately, these guys suck. So, I don't know why I wouldn't expect this to happen in the future. Normally, those skeletons follow you down here, and this early in the game, you don't have the ability to kill this guy. But, looks like I got lucky. So, did he not give me... Oh no, he didn't. That's strange. Oh, I guess I get it from a different one. That lantern that he was holding to shoot fireballs at me, they'll drop that sometimes, or one of them will, and that's an item that's useful later on. I can actually go up a level right now, which would be worth doing rather than losing these souls that I have. Let's do strength again. Cool. Man, this really worked out to my benefit. If it does, go ahead and kill that guy. You might as well. You know, use that bonfire. Now, I can go through this door, which I opened up by using that lever. Watch out for this schmuck. Oh, ow, watch out for, oh, no please. There we go. Now, this is another area. Ooh. Alright, I get it. Don't stop running. No, stop! Is it this way? I'm trying to remember the way through here. And then this way, yep. Alright, we're doing alright. Watch out for the skulls. No. Please. Okay. Ooh, save up some stamina. And pull the lever. I guess push the lever. Grab this item. Thank you. I don't suppose there's some way I'm going to be able to get through this, is there? Man, I am getting lucky. I might be making this look easy. This is not easy. Normally, and not this successful. I usually get taken out pretty early. Oh, you would. Okay. Alright, I made it to here. Oh, you would. Okay. Oh, good, he fell. Okay. Take a swig. Am I being followed? I'm trying to remember where this item is. I really wish you were not standing there. I actually don't even remember what the... Oh, okay. Bye! I don't even remember what the item is that I need down here. I think there's another... Firekeeper soul. Somewhere. Oh, great scythe. That's a good item. You gotta watch it. That ground right there will break from underneath you and you will fall. If I drop down there, I'm stuck in that. I realize this is very spaghetti for a first episode, but there's a lot of hints that I want to give you guys, so... Do I need that yet? What does that do? I think that one does this bridge. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. So one thing about Dark Souls, if you... Oh, hello. If you're willing to cheese it a little bit at the beginning, then, you know, if you're not worried about dying, then there's a lot that you can do early on. Ow. Wow, beautiful. I don't remember this area very well, so... Trying to... Okay, here, I can get back to over there. Cool. That's what I wanted. And I think there's an item over here that I want. I'll have to fall for. Yeah, here we go. It's a Titanite demon down here that I... That right there is exactly as intimidating as it looks. Where is the item? Is it behind him? I'm trying to remember. Pretty sure there is an item behind him. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to die if I try. There's also a coffin in that room that allows you to join a covenant. It might actually be the coffin that's behind him. I don't see an item. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I don't want a chance getting killed by him. I'm so sure though. Oh shoot! I didn't want that to happen. Fall through the hole! Fall through the hole! No! Dang it! Oh well. Yeah, honestly, I cannot remember what item is down there. I know one thing that's really helpful that you can get if you keep falling down. Oh shoot! I stayed at the bonfire here. That was a bad idea. I wonder if I can take on Pinwheel right now. I'm gonna try it. These are gonna be a bit more long-form episodes. That's pretty. Hello? Ooh, bye, sucker. Oh, hello. Oh, the bridge isn't out. I thought... I guess that's not what that switch did. That switch did a different thing. Fun fact. Alright. Let's try this again. I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, these are going to be more long-form episodes. Most of them are going to kind of follow the more linear way that Dark Souls will run, but for now, I'm kind of rushing through this because, like I said, I'd like to show you some of the early stuff that you can get here that is particularly useful if you're willing to go and get them. Oh, hello. I thought I saw... Ah, there it is. Probably shouldn't have stopped for that. Oh, ooh, you got me right on the tail end of that. No! Well... I should probably just give in and start recording a normal episode. I don't know if I can take Pinwheel as I am now anyway. It's probably too early. So... let's see. Let's see if I can get back up to Firelink Shrine without dying. Didn't realize how terrible of a position I put myself in here. There's the ladder. Oh, hi. Excuse me. Pardon me. If you wouldn't mind just... oh, okay. I might skip forward a little bit. This isn't going very well. Run through here. Oh, he dropped down this time. If you wouldn't mind not hitting me, thank you. Okay, I need you, sir, to move from where you are. If you both could come down here. Whew! Some masterful dodging there, if I do say so myself. Alright. Now if I can just get through the graveyard up here, which shouldn't be too difficult because all of the skeletons should start disassembled. Yeah, there we go. So in the time that it takes them to get up, I have time to run past them and get up to Firelink Shrine. I don't think they chase me forever. I think they only chase me so far. Okay, is this? Yes! Alright. So, what did I get out of that? Did I get anything that was useful? I didn't. Now I feel like I wasted your time with that one. There is Pinwheel. We are going to be going and fighting Pinwheel later on, which gives you the Rite of Kindling. Which allows you to... So, remember I said earlier that most bonfires only give you 5 drinks from the flask when you stay at them, where this one gives you 10 when you stay at it. The Rite of Kindling allows you to increase the amount of Estus that you get from a bonfire. I think up to 20, maybe? I'm not sure. This guy's a hoot. I'm not going to talk to him because he's not useful for me at all. Useful to me. There's an item up here. Show you the last couple items. There's an item up there. That is the key to the Undead Asylum that we need. The west key. If you drop down here, it's a safe little distance down. And you can pop out over here. And find a bunch of chests. I think cracked red eye orbs. Homeward bones are really useful. Morningstar and talisman. Good if you're a cleric, not if you're not. Cracked red eye orbs. Those are what you use to invade other people's worlds. Like I said, I'm not really interested in the PvP aspect of Dark Souls. In fact, generally I tend to avoid it. I certainly did my first time playing through, just because, like I said, I found the base game was difficult enough. I didn't need to add an extra level of difficulty by fighting people. Especially because people that play Dark Souls are typically of a sort in the first place. The matchmaking in Dark Souls 1 isn't that great. For instance, I could avoid leveling up, go find a weapon that is incredibly good at PvP. Sorry about that. Go find a weapon that's really good at PvP and keep my level low. So that way I keep being put up against people that are low level and not terribly good at PvP. And there are even differences in the items that you'll use. Some items are better at PvP, some items are better at PvE. PvP is player versus player. Oh, okay, he's on a tirade. And PvE is player versus enemy. I prefer player versus enemy. Oh, I thought that was going to go farther than it did. Take a swig. Actually, it took me a while to find this side path as well when I was playing the first time. Ooh, I'm in a bad spot. Oh. And that's Dark Souls for you. You can play really cautiously and carefully and still get in really terrible situations. So, you know, it's all about patience. Playing slowly, fighting things slowly, and having the patience to keep going when you die over and over and over again. There's a reason that they called the expanded version of Dark Souls, when they had all the DLC released in one bundle, the Prepare to Die version. They knew what was up. But personally, with some exceptions, it's not the case in all areas of Dark Souls, but with some exceptions, I find the game is pretty fair. Ring of Sacrifice. Ring of Sacrifice is an item that you can wear, and upon death, you retain all of your souls and your humanity. But the Ring of Sacrifice breaks. Which, I can't remember how I got over here, but I thought I couldn't get out the first time I got that item. So I thought they were just being cheeky and saying, like, you're gonna have to use this if you want to keep your souls, because you can't get off this bridge. You actually can, but... So there's another item. Got a dirty rat. Watch out for them, they will poison you. If they hit you too many times. Looks like we're going to be able to get just to the next bonfire, and then we'll probably have to stop this first episode. So... Hello. Feel like a lumberjack. Ooh, you're a lumberjack. But I'm a better one. Hello. Chop. Chop. I didn't realize the R2 for this weapon was so good. Most of the time, I find the best thing to do in Dark Souls is actually just to two-hand a really strong weapon. If you're able to take down an enemy really quickly by being able to do high damage, that's usually a more effective method than going at them with a shield. Unless you don't know the enemy. So if your first time playing through, coming to a new area, you might want to use your weapon and a shield, just so that you can kind of take your time and learn what their moveset is. Hello. We'll see him again later. Who is running? Hello? Anyway. But yeah, it might be useful to take your time a little bit more and learn what their moveset is. But once you understand how they move, and everything's telegraphed in this game. So once you understand how they move more, you can go through this a lot more confidently. I typically go through it with two-handed weapons so that I can take things out quickly. So, got another secret area over here. Nice little ambush. And as you can see, there are guys prepared to ambush us over there as well. This is one of the reasons I like to buy the bow and arrow. There are some situations where it's quite useful. In this instance, it would be kind of useful, because you only have to take a single hit at them and they'll fall. But I haven't bought it yet, so I'll probably make use of my fireballs. You can hit down a couple of them before they start getting up. That's why I like playing a Pyromancer. Those early fireballs, and those go back up to 8. They're the same as Estus flasks. You get to use it 8 times in between resting at a bonfire, and then it will go back up to 8. And there are items that you can get that will refill it on the go. Oh, something tried to kill me and died. A couple of things tried to kill me and died. Interesting. Yeah, you can refill those early. But, yeah. I don't know if you can purchase those items or if you just pick them up from enemies. I can't remember, honestly, but you typically try to avoid using those if you don't have to. Which isn't too difficult to do, you just have to be a little bit patient with your use of your spells. Got that jerk up there, taking pot shots. Ha! We hit each other at the same time, but my damage was greater. Oh, you dropped an item. I'll take whatever that was. Be wary of sniper. Really? Dodge. 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 Yeah, I'm not too worried about him. I think this is the first... Actually, what percentage is it? It's not quite 100% physical damage reduction, but it's pretty close, 93. Better than the cracked round shield for sure. Oh, I forgot to show you the other area. I guess I'll show you that after. Maybe after I kill the guy. I can't remember what he's called. But yeah, these are a bunch of items that I picked up in those runs. Sway Handler, S-Talk, Morningstar, Winged Spear is a pretty good weapon. Great Scythe is a really good PvP weapon. And it's not a bad PvE weapon either. These ones are pretty great as greatswords, but the Claymore is honestly better with the scaling that you get. So, hello. Get rid of you, and I guess we'll go stay at this bonfire. I don't know how long I've been playing for, hopefully not too long, but like I said, these are going to be pretty relaxed and long-form recordings of Dark Souls. I hope that you enjoy them. as I play along this game. It is a fantastic game. And I want everyone to know that. So that's part why I'm playing through it. Another part is I just want to play it again, and I figure if I'm going to play it again, why not record it and share it with the world? Maybe bring some enticement to this game. And maybe even do Dark Souls 2 and 3 afterward. I don't know, we'll see. But in any case, that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys watch the next episode. Bye!